Thank you, John. Good afternoon. My name is Manika Prasad, as John has said. I have not changed my name in the meantime. I'm inviting you to come with me on a journey on how at Minds we developed the concept of getting to net zero. That journey is a journey including hard work, including deep foundational knowledge, topical knowledge, including the ability to speak different scientific languages so that we can communicate with each other. That journey came with a fair amount of serendipity. And that's not something that you associate with science and technology. And yet, the best amount of excitement you can invoke in a scientist, and I know that's an oxymoron, but we get excited if a chance encounter opens a whole new field, a field of thought that we had not considered, expands the horizon, gives us solutions that we had not expected to see. Our journey in the CCUS, in getting to net zero, pathways of getting to net zero, included something along those lines. It started about 10 years ago. It started much before that. For me, it started 10 years ago. I was working on seal integrity for carbon storage and looking at developing, constructing low-cost dust sensors that we would deploy in megacities and involve school children to collect data. At that time, I realized that a lot of the students were coming to us and talking about climate change, which was the basis of why we were doing certain things, and they were talking about feeling that they think that climate change, they believe climate change, they don't believe. And I said, there is data that we use. This is a scientific field. And so I organized a workshop, a climate change workshop, not knowing what to expect, hoping to see maybe 5 people. It was overwhelming. The response at Minds was overwhelming. What that showed us was, not only were we working on my narrow field of geology and geophysics, which I was affiliated with, but there was a whole scope of other things, as you heard today from Laurie Tunstall, from Ryan Richards, from Mike Pickirk, from Rennie Richards. There were a host of other people trying to address the problem. In addition to the carbon capture, storage, and utilization, we also had affiliated technologies that were at work at Minds, and that included water management, mineral space, mining, rare earth elements. How do we get those? And on all of that, there was a wrapper where we had social scientists come in and say, we have to do it in a sustainable, economic, and a just manner. And that gave rise to the whole CCUS collaborative effort at Minds, which got us to the goal. And we said, we have every country, every county, every state develops their plans. We need to reduce X amount of carbon dioxide greenhouse gases in 1 year, and in the next 5 years, in the next 15 years. What we realized was, getting to that state required a collaborative effort, but not just the collaborative effort, it also required stakeholder input. We could not and we cannot develop programs without stakeholder input. The second part of that, which was really a very interesting, very good conclusion, was there is no competition. In this field, we need to build regional collaborations. We need to learn from others. We need to collaborate and build what is right for my state. It might be different from another state. There might be common learnings. That is what we need to develop. In doing that, we were approached by the Department of Energy through the Los Alamos National Labs to collaborate on building a roadmap for decarbonizing I-West states. These are 6 states. They are very similar in their topography, geologic setup, the level of industries, the reliance on fossil fuel-based economy, and so on. And so we took that and we said, we should create a roadmap that gives us technology readiness levels for what can we do to decarbonize. What can we put to action now? And where do we need research and development efforts such that we bring them to a state within the next 15 years so that they're ready to be deployed? And part of that was also to look at symbiotic relations in energy dependence, different types of energies, which is what GEFI is trying to do, where we are bringing in different elements of the energy system. All of that needed to come together. I'll give you 2 examples on what we did. One of them was to gather all sorts of data from publicly available information, create storage capacity maps that are publicly available so that anyone planning a storage site in Colorado can access these and make them more specific to the site they're at and go forward with that. We did that for Colorado. Our colleagues did that for their states. So that's something where we said we can act in collaboration. What we were doing, we transmitted that knowledge to other states. They used that to build their geologic maps. The other part of that was what you just heard from Rand Richards. I could not have given a better explanation. This stuff, the stuff he was talking about, what Ryan called so heartlessly called dirt, that is rocks. We are looking at trying to store permanently carbon dioxide by mineralizing rocks that are rich in magnesium oxide, that are rich in other elements as well, other oxides, other silicates. How do we do that? We cannot do that without knowledge from the chemists on the preferential absorption of carbon dioxide, of methane in each one of those elements. The last part of that was to build a workforce. In that, we came together with about 20 faculty on campus. We developed a Mines CCUS certification program and offered 4 courses, 2 of them technical on geologic storage and on capture, 2 of them that provide the fundamental basis, one in climate change and sustainability, and the second one on economics, carbon economy, energy transition economy. And that was possible by colleagues, by working together, by getting together and talking about this actively. That's the story at Mines. That's the story of coming together, being able to talk to each other, being able to define a common goal that is regional and yet grasps and builds on a knowledge that is global. And with that, I thank you for your attention.